This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. On the drive to and from my parents' house in Washington State, we almost always stop at two particular McDonald's, one in Salem, Oregon, and another in Eureka, California. At the moment, we are in the parking lot of the Salem location, and I just finished a Big Mac and fries. Even though we are just passing through, I appreciate the familiarity and feeling of community. The other day, I was looking through my mother-in-law's photo album and came across a photo where she and her friends are standing in front of a McDonald's wearing their cheerleading uniforms. I usually call my mother-in-law New Mom, but her name is Marcia. Under the photo, Marcia had written a note, and I talked her into letting me read it here. San Bernardino, California. I have so many memories of this McDonald's over the years. My father took me there on what I think was opening day. What a thrill it was as a young girl to order a chocolate shake, hamburger, and French fries. Then there was the time when my cousin Hinda and I were given a tour and allowed to take dill pickles by the cupful out of a huge barrel. We must have eaten 100 pickles each. Everyone in my family knows the story of how I accidentally missed the ketchup container and dipped a fry into my milkshake. Now when I dip fries in my shake, it's on purpose. I remember when I was 12 years old, my mother and my cousin Noel Novak, Larry's brother, picked me up from dance class and we went for dinner to celebrate Noel's graduation from high school. Years later, when I was in high school, we would go to McDonald's every Friday night after the football game. I wish you could see this photo. Marcia couldn't remember if they won the game that night, but everyone is smiling as if they did. Wherever your local McDonald's is, there's nothing better than that wonderful feeling of community. Well, maybe that feeling is tied with eating a Big Mac. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Dad?
Yes?
Thanks so much for doing this. But so Sim, I know we have other things to talk about, but Sim and Amy have asked me to officiate their wedding.
That's a great honor.
It is a great honor. I don't know what to do. Can you give me some advice?
Well, you go to this website and you sign up to be...
Well, I've already done that part. That's the easy part.
Are you updated, though? Because you signed up years ago. I don't know if you're current.
Well, I guess I'll put that on the list, Sim. Sweet Jesus.
I think the first step is to sit down with the two of them and basically interview them about what they'd like to have happen, what they are hoping for in terms, and who will be there, and what kind of style they'd like. Then you shape it to what.
I was going to give a monologue from the member of the wedding.
That's actually way better. That's way better.
Because I needed attention. But Sim, seriously though, can we talk about this? What would you like out of your wedding? What's most important to you?
I'm just happy that you're going to be there. Honestly, we're both so touched that you're going to be there. It doesn't really matter to me what you say.
Seems like you haven't thought about it.
All right. No, I think you're going to be great no matter what. We're just honored that you're going to be there and you're doing this for us. We're so blessed and honored.
How could I refuse that massive paycheck?
That's true. $250.
Wait, $250?
Yeah.
I thought it was $250K.
Well, you're locked in now.
Fuck
Sorry.
this.
But your dad is here. I'm so excited.
I know. Thanks, Dad, for being here.
He's going to help us with a couple of different things. We're going to talk about GAPS, which we're going to talk about in a second. It's a charity that you both are so close to. Before we get to that, your book is out now. This is unbelievable.
I'm terrified.
How proud of her are you?
Very, very proud. Yeah, she's a brilliant writer. I've known this for a long time. And it's just a delight to know that now a whole lot more people are going to learn about that.
Dad, thanks.
How far into the book are you?
I kind of dance around different places. I find a photograph that, I remember this stuff, and then I read that part.
Are you nervous at all?
No.
I am. You know what, my
mom... Are you
mom,
nervous that your dad's reading your book?
Oh, yes. That's the thing that, of course, terrifies me. Like, the people that I love, that I'm close to, read, like... It's one thing if it's like, this is how I can relate to people that I don't know, but maybe have the same issues that I did. You know, loneliness, feeling like, you know, a little lost in life or whatever. But that's another thing when your parents read it. Oh, my God. And you know what my mom said to me this morning?
What?
She said that she was going to give me a gift and she was not going to read the book.
That's the best gift you can possibly get.
I know. She was the person I was most terrified about reading the book.
You don't care that your dad's reading it at all. It's your mom. that you're worried about.
No, of course I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't even look at him right now.
My gift to you about the book is that I am going to read it, but I'm not going to get defensive about the stories you tell about me.
Story. I have like a whole chapter that honors you. Have you gotten to that part yet?
Well, maybe we're reading the chapter differently.
Well, the book is available right now. The link is actually on the photo of Anna right now on your phone. If you're looking at your phone right now, just press her nose or face or eyes, whatever you want. You'll see the episode description. Scroll down and there's a link right there. Push that button and then you can get your book via Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, wherever the link is going to. I'm not sure, but you'll get it in a couple of days. But
Great ad read, Sim.
I'm not even reading the ad. This is all off the cuff.
Clearly.
That's how good I've become.
You were tick.
We are going to talk about gaps in a second. Arielle Kebbel is our guest, and what a powerful episode that was.
Oh my
God.
God. So relevant, so amazing. She's so well-spoken, brilliant. As I said the words well-spoken, I was like, God, that's kind of a sexist thing to say, because you wouldn't describe like a man as being well-spoken.
People call me well-spoken.
You are very well-spoken, sir.
I think they would describe a man as eloquent.
Yes.
But she's unbelievable. It was an honor to have her, and
So smart, so charming.
And
We'd
I
love to have
think
her
that
back.
I hope that people can identify with the idea of sort of the sexual harassment issues that we talk about.
I think so too. I learned so much from just listening to you both talk. Seriously.
But you're amazing. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Osea. Wondering what to gift your friends and family this holiday season? Female founded over 25 years ago by a mother and daughter team, Osea's award-winning cleansers, serums, face moisturizers, and body products give you the results you want. Skin that looks and feels amazing. I recently got to try Osea's new body butter, which, like their now famous Undaria algae body oil, transforms dry skin without being greasy, has the same incredible scent, and leaves your skin soft, smooth, and healthy looking. If my experience is any indication, you can count on your partner giving you a lot of compliments. This holiday season, stock up and share your new favorite clean skincare and body care with your friends and family. Unqualified listeners get 10% off your first order with promo code ANNA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. Gifting is always easier if you start early, so head to OSEAMalibu.com. Use code ANNA. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and the lofty goal of creating boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Sunglasses, with or without a prescription, start at $95 and, just like eyeglasses, are available through their home try-on program. You just choose 5 pairs and see which ones you like. I was surprised by how quickly they arrived, which presented me with the immediate problem of deciding which ones to keep. I loved all of them, so you can guess what happened. And not only can you feel good about how cool you look, you can also feel good knowing that for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need through partnerships with nonprofits like Vision Spring. Offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. So put your FSA or HSA dollars to good use on Warby Parker prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/unqualified. That's warbyparker.com/unqualified.
Your dad is sitting here patiently smiling and laughing at us. But we have to talk about something serious. There is a charity that you were both very involved in, and it's called GAPS. Sir, please tell us what GAPS is.
GAPS is an acronym for the Global Alliance to Prevent Prematurity and Stillbirth. It is a 501c3 founded about 10 years ago at Seattle Children's Hospital, and is now an independent organization with a global reach and involving partnerships with many organizations worldwide. And it's addressing a very important challenge.
Dad, were you involved with any of the people involved in GAPS before my son was born?
I was close friends and an advisor to some of the people at Seattle Children's Hospital, and became quite friendly with the director of GAPS, Dr. Craig Rubens. And so I was very much interested in the challenge that GAPS is attempting to confront.
So, dear listeners, some of you may know, but the reason why this organization is so important to my family is because my son, Jack, was born 2 months early. My water broke in the middle of the night. I thought maybe I had peed. I hopefully thought I had peed, but it turns out he decided to come into the world early. And I was rushed to Cedars-Sinai, where they took incredible care of me. And I'm so thankful for the amazing doctors and nurses that helped Jack be the healthy, beautiful child that he is today. But without this, I'm not quite sure what the alternative. I hate to think about what the alternative would be.
Well, tragically, many children, of course, do not have the kind of support and care that Jack did. And right now, the leading cause of death of young children worldwide is premature birth. And the situation in the United States is not any better than it is worldwide, actually. There's very high rates of premature birth in the U.S., and we don't understand why. There's a great mystery around why so many children are born early.
When Jack was in the NICU for, a month, we saw people from all different walks of life. People, other actresses, people that, didn't have a ton of resource. It did feel like what could possibly be sort of the cause of, if you can't pinpoint it, I mean, maybe that's like the human nature is to attempt to sort of figure out, is there an environmental cause to this? Is it a place that you live? If you live in Reseda or whatever, I don't know. But
well, we do know some things. We know that healthy moms are more likely to carry their babies to full term, and we know that birth spacing, not having children too close together in time, is another way to try to reduce the likelihood of having a premature birth. But in many cases, there's no obvious explanation at all. The good news is that we're convinced that we can do research that's never been done before, with more data, more tissue samples on more women over a period of time, and with analytic techniques never before available. We're on the very frontier of medical research in a very exciting way, and we know we can come to understand the nature of pregnancy in much greater depth than ever before. It is actually a very mysterious and not well-known biological phenomenon. And through that, we are convinced we can find ways to dramatically improve our ability to prevent premature birth. And that will save the lives of millions of babies. So this is a great endeavor, and I'm so pleased you're supporting it. And I want to thank Sim also for being enthusiastic about this.
Where can we find out some more information
Well,
about
the best place to get a lot of information is the website for GAPS. And again, I'll just say the full name is Global Alliance to Prevent Prematurity and Stillbirth. That's GAPPS, and it's just GAPPS.org. Very simple.
And if you don't mind, we'd love to do a full episode with you and potentially a special guest that we won't name yet because he's not logged in. But
Dear listeners, we'd love to hear, if you have stories, we'd love to compile a collection of stories. If I think everyone has sort of their pregnancy stories in one variation or another, but we'd love to hear
they can go on unqualified.com
accounts.
and then send an email to me and just put that in the subject line, and then we can discuss it when we have our full episode.
Hey, Dad, I was not premature, right?
You were not. You were tardy. You were 3 weeks late. And your mom and I got into a kind of a weird mental state that maybe this isn't going to happen at all. But when it did, you came along quite rapidly. And so
I remember you describing me when I was a kid, because you know how you remember what your parents, like the story of your birth, whatever. Like, I remember you always telling me that I was a well-baked loaf.
Well, some breads come out, some loaves of bread come out of the oven a little earlier than they should, but you were nice and brown and toasted. Seriously.
Jack was like a little thin, sweet, beautiful noodle.
Yeah, you were plump and beautiful. You didn't look like a newborn. You looked like a 3-week-old, and that's really what you were.
And then I never grew.
Yeah, you were at the top of the charts as a newborn, and then
I like safety. I always have.
Well, you turned out great, and so did Jack. But we are really committed to finding ways to help mothers and fathers find ways to have the best, most healthy baby possible, and ideally carry that baby to full term. We also know there are ways in which we can extend great care to those babies who are born early, and try to make every outcome as good as it was for Jack.
The website, again, for more information is gaps.org. That's GAPPS.org. Jack, thank you so much. Do you mind? Do you want to come back and do an ad in about 45 minutes, our mid-roll ad? Do you want to?
Please, come on, Dad. You're an ad man.
You're
like a madman. Ad man.
All right, perfect.
Yes.
You'll be back. Thank you so much. Okay, so we can actually start now. Anna, you want to introduce our guest? We have a special guest here.
Yes. Arielle, am I saying that?
Is it Arielle Kebbel or Arielle Kebbel?
It's Arielle Kebbel.
Arielle Kebbel.
Yeah.
Arielle. That is such a fucking beautiful name.
Well, it is when you say it like that.
Arielle Kebbel. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled.
You're on this podcast called Unqualified, and we're about to give unqualified advice, but I have a funny feeling that your advice will be better than mine.
We'll see about that.
We're actually going to change format, if you don't mind, if you'll indulge me for a second, because today we want to talk about a sensitive topic that's been at the forefront of current events, and we're going to call Alice. She has a question for us. Nina, would you mind dialing her up? Arielle, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, of course.
It's Frances, not Alice. Did you say Alice?
Did I say Alice? Oh, Francis, excuse me. I read the wrong name.
Turns out at the forefront of...
Hello.
Hey, Francis, it's Sim. How are you?
Hi, Sam. I'm alright, thanks. How are you?
What time is it in London right now?
It's almost midnight.
I'm going to introduce you to Anna.
Hi, and thank you so much for talking with us. I so appreciate it. I'm so sorry that it's so late, and you're so kind to do this.
And Anna's going to introduce our special guest to you.
Yes, it's Arielle Kebbel.
Arielle Kebbel. We just talked about this.
Fuck.
It's cool, guys.
Hi, it's Arielle Kebbel.
But what about with an English accent?
Francis, you want to try?
She's like, I know I'm tired.
Yeah, she's like, it's been
Well, she wants to
doesn't
talk
know who I
about
am.
something. Something is on our mind right now, and I know we're kind of in this jokey mood right now, but there's stuff happening right now that we should discuss. So, Francis, tell us what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, not the best of joke conversations. Basically, I mean, even just the whole last week, I've not really been sleeping so great because with everything in the media about Harvey Weinstein and the hashtag Me Too, I really, really, really felt it lately, and I've been questioning, should I say something? Should I write in? Should I even do a hashtag Me Too? Whatever. Because, I haven't been raped, but I have experienced a large number of sexual harassment, violations, abusive interactions that have really shaped how I am as a person, especially how I am around men. I mean, I'm basically terrified of them. And I have a lot of male friends, but I see it when I'm around them. I act like a boy on purpose to try and make sure that I'm not in any way seen in that way. But my first experience was when I was 8 years old. My most recent one was 2 years ago. And I try and have conversations with people about it, but there's this feeling that we're not allowed to talk about it, that we're not allowed to say these things because we're being melodramatic, or we don't have this power. And I've tried to talk about it with my male friends, and they get completely silent. And there's even been instances where I've been out with them and things have happened, and they would joke about it, not really knowing what had happened, and I would tell them, and they would just be like, oh, and that's it. No, oh shit, I'm sorry, my God, if I'd known, I would have helped. No, anything like that. And I guess my question is, how can we have these experiences and move forward, but not marginalize them and wave them off because everyone makes us feel like they're nothing?
Oh, God, that is what a fucking question. Because I think that there is that feeling of we're supposed to feel like this isn't a big deal, and that like somebody making us feel small because of our sexuality or because of whatever their predatory nature, and we've been so acclimatized to it that we have to dismiss it or we shrug it off. But I think that anybody listening, and I'm sure that we've got 3 incredible women here in the room, 4 including myself, I think, but that can completely relate to. I mean, I don't know if I've ever talked to a woman who couldn't possibly relate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that is what the hashtag Me Too is all about, is really making it clear that there's not a woman that hasn't been sexually harassed in some way, shape, or form. And Alice, is it Alice? No, Francis. Francis, I want to commend you on sharing everything you did and coming on the show in the first place because, hearing your voice, I can hear how scary this is for you to share and how this has really affected you. And that to me is the result of harassment. And when you said I didn't want to share because I wasn't sure if I should because I haven't been raped. This is what we're talking about. It might be on, yes, there's different levels of it, of the physical abuse and the mental abuse, but you have been abused. I could hear it in your voice and you're brave. You're brave. And the point of this entire conversation is that it's okay to talk about it. And I think that is how we move forward is, having the conversation and flipping the conversation because the conversation is not about sex, it's about power. And when men and women together start to understand that men are manipulating for power, yeah, sure, the sex feels good, but it's a power play, it's a mind game, it's a manipulation. And the more men that start talking about that, the more free we are to not act like boys to be safe, but to actually be the women that we are and be strong women that we are and add to the conversation that way instead of pretending to be boys to be safe.
Do you guys ever remember?
That's amazing, by the way. That is amazing. I mean, that's...
Do you remember ever being told that you throw like a girl?
Yeah. And it's like, wait, am I a girl?
But there, it's not a dissimilar mentality, like the idea that you're weaker, you are living up to my expectation of you. I'm also going to put you down for your gender.
Yes.
And you hear that, you start to hear that at, like when you're 8. It's like, oh, I throw like a girl, therefore I cannot throw. That was always like, I guess I'm just not good. And I know that maybe it's a reach, what I'm trying to sort of link these two ideas to, but the idea that I guess that there's an automatic assumption that these casual put downs or something that somebody could say to you that they have heard maybe their dad say or bosses say or whatever, that has been like a cultural norm that's been embedded that makes us feel small and
to make them feel big.
yeah. And Francis, I don't know if that's sort of, if you can relate to that idea at all, but
I mean, can I say something? I know most men that I know don't abuse or harass women, but I'm not sure how many of them actually stopped to think about how their actions might inadvertently perpetuate gender inequality. How can men have that conversation with women? How can they support them in that way? Like, I want to know what I can do.
Can I jump in?
Please.
First of all, I love that. Like, thank you for not just talking about it being like, okay, cool, what can I do? I know this all started through the Weinstein conversation. So, people are saying he's a monster or I'm so shocked, men especially. Right. And it's like, well, men, you only get to be shocked once before you're a part of the problem. And
I'm not shocked at all, by the way.
No, I'm not. Yeah. I believe you. But I love this blog because, and actually my sister sent it to me in support, and I love that like women are sharing information about this. But here's like, that very question is like, what can I do to support it lists like 5 things. It's like, one is like, what can I do to support the women who have suffered sexual assault? This isn't about how brave and strong I am as a man. It's about the challenges that women continue to face just in this existing world. It's like acknowledging sexual assault as a violent crime that is offensive to me, not because I am related to a person who is female. 4, I am going to work on my own awareness of how I benefit from systems that keep Harvey Weinstein on top for 20 years while he rapes and assaults women. I'm going to work on dismantling those systems. It's uncomfortable to see it, but I have to see it. I'm going to listen to women. I'm going to believe them. I am not going to be shocked. I think it's Channing Tatum just pulled out of a movie. that was around abusing women. I think it's about men being willing to flip the conversation. It's about men being willing not only to say, oh my God, you have my support, but the next time you're in a bar, at a restaurant, in a business meeting, the next time you're in a business meeting and you see someone power playing a woman,
call them out
having
immediately.
literally
Call
having
them
the
out in front of
balls
everyone
to call them
immediately.
out.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And to be a leader in that's a game changer, because so much in the past it's been male camaraderie and no one says anything, and then the woman is blamed for saying something.
Exactly.
So I think this whole thing is so overwhelming. I know that it's so overwhelming for me, but I think that if people, men especially, start to realize it's the everyday acts, it's just about going through your regular everyday life with a changed perspective. That is enough, because that will, it will equal more.
Oh, God. I mean,
let's just all crawl in a hole.
fuck.
I mean, my fiance Amy, she told me that there isn't a day that doesn't go by when she's walking to work that someone doesn't say something to her that makes her feel uncomfortable. Every single day.
Congrats, you got a hot lady.
But that's the thing.
I know. I'm only making a joke because I need a break from all this. But it's so tough. It's so tough to talk about.
But it is, because the idea of sort of how do we grapple with the idea of feeling like empowered and attractive, and at the same time guilty, like because of society, for wanting to feel those things.
I hear you. I've cried a lot the last 2 weeks, and it was a big like wake up for me, because I actually realized I was part of a statistic, and not the statistic of being raped, but the statistic of feeling guilty that I hadn't been, and that my friends had been, and that I considered myself lucky that I was able to get out of situations. And so because of that, I've kept my mouth shut. I mean, I've always supported my friends and my family members who have been through it, but like somehow that silenced me, because like I didn't have it as bad as other people, so like I shouldn't complain or talk about it. And when I saw the Me Too hashtag going around, when I was reading all the articles about the Harvey of it all, like I was like, oh my God, holy shit, here I am, a woman who considers myself wanting to be part of the change. And like, I was actually part of the statistic that was keeping quiet. And that was so heartbreaking and embarrassing for me to like look at myself and go like, oh my God, I've spent years in Hollywood being proud that I've dodged tricky situations. Like we all know it here. You go out to events, you're on set, you're in meetings. It's those really uncomfortable questions that cause a woman to think overtime. How do I get out of this? Do I chuckle? Do I not respond? Do I stare at them? Do I, is this worth my job right now? Or do I just be quiet and play along? Like, what is that line? And guess what? Men are never having to think overtime. They're just doing it. They're dropping the ball and they're letting us maneuver everything else. And I was just like so heartbroken and embarrassed for my own journey, but then also for these women who are coming forward that have been through more than me and are brave enough to start this conversation, and the wave that we're all riding now because of it. Like, I don't know. It's clearly lit a fire in me, but I'm like, I just, I won't be like quiet ever again.
The only good thing that came out of this is the fact that everyone's talking about it now.
Yeah, exactly. And the idea that, hopefully this pattern will be broken.
I think it will. I think so. I have a good feeling about this. No one's tolerating this. Everyone I've talked to there's zero tolerance now, I think, in our industry. At least in our industry. I don't know about others, but...
Well, hang on a sec. There's been a couple people that have come out with statements that are like very like on both sides.
What?
Oh, maybe we shouldn't go there. Let's not go there. Anyways.
Wait a minute. I want to go there. I had a director. I was doing a scene where I was on a ladder and I was supposed to be taking like books off of a shelf. And he slapped my ass in front of the crew so hard. And all I could do was giggle.
Yeah.
And I remember looking around, and I remember seeing like other crew members being like, wait, what are you going to do about that? That seemed weird.
No one said anything though?
No, it was the director. And but I mean, like
No one said anything after?
no.
But that's the part that men can start
see,
doing.
you're not surprised at all. Yeah,
I'm not surprised at all.
yeah.
I'm like, no one would say anything
it wasn't
because
a thing.
they don't want to lose their job.
Yeah, but and you know, and that's how I dismissed it. I was like, well, this isn't a thing. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Come on, Faris, like buck up. It's not that big of a deal, you know. Like, just giggle.
Yeah.
And but it made me feel small, and you know, he wouldn't have done that to the lead male.
Of course. And that's exactly, I found myself giggling out of so many situations. And it's like, you know, screw you for making me have to figure it out.
Right. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Like, this is my puzzle. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, you asked how men can change in the future. The next time, God forbid, that were to ever happen on set, if there's a man around, say something.
Say something. I think it's going to happen. I think that's going to happen now.
I do think that I think that there must be a ton of men in Hollywood and all over the world maybe that are pretty scared right now because of their guilty behavior. You know, I, as much as I like bemoan the iPhone and like in social media and all that, but it has given a liberation for sure, and like accountability. But hey, Francis, I'm so sorry that we've like sort of strayed. I want you to be able to talk about your experiences if you want to more, because we're here and this is relevant.
No, I'm actually, I'm really moved by listening to you guys talk. It's what you guys are saying is easing my anxiety about humanity. Because I'm, you know, I sit and I listen to people, you know, belittle situations or get awkward when the conversation comes up, and it just makes me think that I'm wrong by wanting to talk about it. But obviously you guys just went off on a whole big thing, and that was really nice to hear. So thank you for that.
I love you.
I know.
Can you move to Los Angeles? Will you come? Like, just want to pet your head. Wait, that might be creepy. I'm sorry, that's sexual harassment. Fuck. I've fallen into my own trap.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with RAINN, but it's like the biggest sexual violence organization, and they have a website. You can look up statistics on sexual harassment for both men and women. And I feel like it might help you right now, because some of the things, you know, you were saying about anxiety, and, you know, I just want you to know that's so normal. Not only are you normal, you're brave and you're human, and everything that you're feeling is so normal for what you've been through. And I feel like maybe if you could check out that website, and, you know, if hearing us is helping you, then I think maybe reading more statistics. I'm not saying you're a statistic. I'm saying like it's helpful to have facts in front of you. Like, it actually lists like X amount percentage of people suffer from anxiety due to sexual harassment. X amount of women try to commit suicide due to, you know, sexual abuse. Like, it actually says those things. So I just want you to know that beyond us and this conversation, there's a lot more you can do to give yourself relief, and to know that you're not alone, and to know that, you know, the conversation is happening, things are changing, but to ease the pain that you're in physically right now, I think that might help.
I remember when I was in third grade, I felt like, oh, if there is a God, he or she, but at the time it was he, must be very cruel, Because to make us, as the weaker sex physically, as intelligent, if not more intelligent than the other gender, I was like, this is just cruel. There's no way. Like, if there was a God, shouldn't have we could have been much less intelligent if we were like Dumbos, like giggling around or whatever. But the larger idea is that, of course, we should be able to have a feeling of ownership of our sexuality and our intelligence and our identity without it being defined by somebody else in any way.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, Francis.
I'm still an atheist.
Francis, did this help you? I hope this helped.
well, it's
I
still
hope this helped a lot of
it
people.
definitely did.
It definitely helped me, that's for sure.
Hey,
You
Francis.
two are amazing,
Yeah.
by the way. I'm so glad we had this conversation.
Hey, will
and I
you?
really want more men to. You know what? I'm trying so hard to get more men to listen to the show.
You know what? If we start to show our tits more, then
They'll for sure do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, Francis, I can't thank you enough for what you like, for what you're bringing to the table.
Seriously, Francis, thank you so much for sharing your story, for bringing us up. I'm glad we all spoke about
I
it.
totally understand your disappointment in the other gender, because I have it as well. But you know what? There are some good men out there. There's some great people out there, and we'll find them.
Yeah, the thing I really felt strongly about was the conversation, which you guys talked about so much in that whole answer, and I was really grateful to hear that word come up. And I've had that song from my crazy ex-girlfriend in my head, Let's Generalize About Men.
Yes.
All day.
Isn't that great? I just saw that episode.
It's so
great.
good. And I don't at all think that all men are, I have so many male friends, and they're not. It's just this little part that's not clicking yet, that they don't know because they don't experience it. And,
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you just
Yeah,
said that,
I'm really
because
glad.
I actually posted about the Me Too hashtag on my Instagram, and a lot of the comments I got back were from men saying, thank you for voicing your opinion and standing for women, but I have to say I don't like the Me Too hashtag. It feels like you're attacking all men. And my response was, nowhere in the Me Too hashtag does it say by all men hashtag. Nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you're a man and
no.
you're feeling attacked, then do your research and understand that you're only under attack if you're somebody who has sexually harassed a woman. If you're not, then be a strong enough, brave enough man to know this isn't about you and stand for the cause. And I think that maybe your friends, if they realize they're not being attacked, they can stand in the same conversation with you, because this isn't about all men. This is about the men who are choosing power to manipulate and belittle women.
You're awesome, Arielle. Hey, Francis.
Yeah, that was like the most amazing sentence.
Francis, we have to go, but this is seriously one of the most powerful calls we've ever had. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Sweet
Thank you
dreams.
very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Say sweet dreams after we've talked about this.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant that. I really meant that, because it's like after midnight, and I
Exactly, yeah.
wanted her to feel
Right.
better and have good
Yes.
dreams.
Bounce on marshmallows and poppy corn.
Oh my God, I love
Fuck. Good night, Francis.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
You're amazing. Good night. All people are evil and awful. We're all going to hell. Sweet dreams.
Oh my God.
People you think are your friends, they're not. They just want to fuck you. Sweet dreams.
Oh my God. Well, thanks for calling me out. I was like, oh shit, that was. Well,
The whole world is like a burning ember.
but I see rainbows. I see rainbows.
We're in Hollywood.
Yes. So good luck with
We're
that.
actresses. We have long eyelashes. Fuck you. Jeez, Louise, Sim.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm glad I did that at the top.
I'm really glad as well.
I'm flushed.
But you know what was kind of amazing? It was amazing to sort of watch you, Sim.
Why?
Oh, I see the power play.
Not at all.
Because
I'm curious.
Okay, because I saw you. Well, first of all, like absorbing for sure, and I know that you you are incredibly empathetic, but is it possible for you to fully understand?
No, never. I'll never understand. And
Because,
you know, I'll
like,
tell you
you're
something.
sitting
And
across from,
Amy will tell me.
one of the most fucking gorgeous women in the world.
Of course,
And,
of course.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
She told me that my fiance
No, you
told
can
me
cut
that
him
I
off
will
anytime
never.
you're saying that.
Exactly.
See,
I-
herein lies. We are proving the whole fucking complication of the whole fucking situation.
I'll never
very
understand. The
smart.
truth is, I'll never understand. And
Very
Amy
smart.
told me that I'll never understand. I don't think any guy will ever fully understand.
Because
this.
I saw you looking with empathy and nodding your head
yes.
and being like, "Yes,
But
this
there's-
is serious.
But what
this is serious."
But what
at
can
the
I
same
possibly
time,
offer? All I could say is how. What can
what
I
I
do?
felt like-
Yeah.
What was running around in your head? Tits.
No, come on. No, you can't. No, what you're doing by
just
saying that.
I know. I'm exacerbating the problem. But
Which is what very
Am I
smart
wrong?
comedians do.
am I totally off base?
This is so off
I am
base.
so not off
Completely
base.
off
Oh
base.
my God.
This is the wrong time to bring that up.
you. Of course it is. But that's what we're doing.
No, but that was brilliant, actually.
Thank
because
you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love you.
Because that is exactly it. But I think that a lot of men are like scared that they don't understand right now, or scared about what's happening. Period.
Right.
But
No, I'm not
to me,
scared. But I'm not worried. I'm just because I know that
You wanna be
I'll never
extra
be. I'll never be
cautious.
that. No, I'll never.
Okay.
I've never been close to that.
Can I
and
ask
Anna's
you-
known me for 17 years. I'm not that guy at all.
Oh, not
But
at all.
I know so many people who are that guy.
Of course. Do you think that there's an idea of like, and I hate to gender simplify, I hate it, but I'm going to right now. The idea that women are slightly better multitaskers.
Gets a given.
Well, okay, so here's where I'm going with this. So where you are like, you know, like tits or whatever.
I can't believe that you would just completely. Wow, really? After 17 years, you're just like tits?
Come on. But no. I'm not saying that exactly about you. I'm saying that your gender can only focus on one thing sometimes.
We think about sex a lot. We see it. It doesn't matter.
Whereas a lot of ladies.
Here's the thing.
if I could
Okay.
be
I
like
could think
maybe
about
like
my grocery list.
if I could be the Swiss right now.
Yes, thank you.
Here's
please.
what I think I'm hearing, but I'm happy to be super wrong.
Yeah.
I think what
You
I'm
better
hearing.
side with me. You know there's only one way to go here.
Fuck, I'm the Swiss.
Yep, and I'm Germany.
I'm terrified. Okay. It's like men will never understand. We're not asking you to fully understand the same way that women will never understand certain things about men. Like,
Fuck.
whatever, football,
Fuck you.
gambling,
That's
whatever.
so fucking smart. God damn it.
Yes, the Swiss
gonna
wins.
sit back.
We're rewriting history. Whoa.
Continue.
But I think
I want to learn.
I think that's the point. And you're brilliant because you brought it up. But it's not about fully like men have wonderful gifts to offer this world. Women have wonderful gifts to offer this world. It's about respecting both of those and not trying to be one or the other, but like in a respectful way, honoring men for what they do best, honoring women for what they do best, and completely equal down the middle. That's why this world is made up of men and women, girls and boys. There's a reason. Everyone has their part. And so I think that like, don't try and understand it. Just get in touch with your belief system and know that like I would never try to do the things a man does. That would just make me feel like shit. You know what I mean? I stay in my lane, you guys stay in yours, and everyone respects each other's lane.
I think that they like early on, and I never felt all that attractive at all growing up. But
Really? Wait, can I just say something for 1 second?
oh my God, I love you.
Here's a little like flashback Hollywood. I don't even know
boy.
what year it was, but we did a table read. Do you remember this? I'm gonna be so embarrassed if you don't. The House Bunny table read.
Oh yeah, yes, that's where it was. Fuck.
So I remember that table read and being like, my God, I just want to be like Anna Faris. She's so funny and so pretty. She can do everything. That
Really?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. As I was supposed to be focusing on my fucking lines.
Oh God, I love you.
Yes, I think that was when we first. Well, we probably met before this at stupid events or something. But
Probably.
that was like I remember.
Oh my God, that makes it like you're filling
Yeah.
my heart with joy.
Yeah.
Especially because women in this industry, I don't know, like, don't we tear each other down a bit? And I love it that you were like, you liked me.
Yeah.
Fuck, that sounds so fucking pathetic. No, I am a proud fucking woman. Yeah. You better fucking like me.
Yeah. No, I remember being.
Got talent up the yin yang.
It was you. Yeah. Listen, lady. Oh, and you've got great nails. You guys can't see what I can. No, not only did I like you, I was like, I was blown away by you. Yeah, you're like, you're wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I just, as we were talking earlier, I got a text from our dear writer from the House Bunny, Kiwi. She was
Really?
like, yeah. And I'm so proud that, that was a project that we all created. And I'm so proud that Cassie here is like, she's our dear head writer. Cassie, will you say hi?
Hey guys.
She's also a brilliant writer. And she just like, she's working on
She has a
her
movie coming out.
Yes.
That's amazing. What's
Yeah.
the movie?
It's about to be. No, it's not coming out yet. Sorry, it's about to be filmed.
Yeah, it's gonna film in the spring. It's called Besties with DreamWorks.
That's amazing.
Isn't that fucking rad? Like I love it that like we're creating like I love like people supporting each other. I was about to say women, but I want to say people because that's really what it is. It's just like people supporting each other. And now Sim is like, look at him nodding. He's
I'm
like,
always
your
supporting.
eyes are glazing over.
No, come on. This is so important.
You need to see some tits. Fine.
You guys should start logging how many times you say tits. I think
I do really like-
do you like your own tits?
Do I?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Do you love them?
Yeah, I paid like Dr. Teitelbaum. They're fucking awesome.
That's amazing.
But I will not be demeaned. There is no way in hell
I
will let this town define who I am. I'm a bleach blonde with Dr. Teitelbaum's work.
natural bleach blondes. The Honest Company now has bleach. Oh man.
Fuck you. Oh.
Wait, you said something about iPhones earlier and it like triggered me because have you seen Battle of the Sexes?
Yes.
It's so good, right?
It's really hot here.
First of all, that movie's amazing. I think everyone should see it.
It's an amazing. I love that movie.
But I found myself bawling, like even at the scenes that were not sad, because I'm like, okay, Kebbel. I often refer to myself as Kebbel when I'm talking to myself in the middle of a movie.
I love that.
Cool. And I'm like, this movie's in the 70s. Okay, we're in 2017, so nearly 50 years ago. Okay, when were iPhones made? Oh, iPhones came out 10 years ago. Okay, cool. So we can have our entire world change everything in 10 years. But in over 50 years, we are still battling the exact same issues with equality across the board, from gender inequality in the workplace, to the LGBT community, to sexual harassment. It blew my mind how timely this movie is.
I loved every second of it.
I loved it. And it was like, I was so grateful for art right now because I'm like, you know what? Thank God we have movies. Thank God we have music. Thank God we have paintings and whatever it is that inspires you to like highlight what's happening in communities right now, because anyone who sits in that theater cannot help but be embarrassed that it was in the 70s. And it literally, if you took away the 70s filter, it could be 2017.
How many times were you watching that movie where you just said to yourself, I cannot believe that guy said that? And then these are like actual like archival footage of reporters saying these, like Howard Cosell. It was unbelievable to me.
Disgusting. You would think that it was a character in a movie and not in real life.
Exactly.
Hey, but I do want to applaud the idea of men that appreciate like a smart woman. And
thank you.
Fuck you.
No, I want you to give me one compliment today, because all you said about me is that all I care about is tits.
No, she said that you were paying close attention, that she was watching you the whole time.
And then keep going
If
now.
you take off your shirt, maybe you'll get a little cash for this podcast.
Or maybe she'll take you a little more seriously.
Yeah, I just need you to like prove your dramatic skills, you know?
Like, would you ever get naked for a dramatic role?
Yeah,
for a dramatic role.
I feel like this is my fault being the only guy in the room, so I'm just gonna have to take it from you guys.
I think it's brave.
I get it. It's fine. I will be the scapegoat for the purpose of this podcast. I will be the scapegoat of my gender.
No. I have to like applaud you for like surrounding yourself and loving women in your life that are really smart. And your
I only want to work with women. That's
fiance, your soon-to-be wife, is so fucking brilliant. I have to believe there's a lot of men out there that value like the idea of like a true intellectual partner.
Definitely.
And you're one of those great people.
Aww. Thank you so much, Anna.
You're looking at you're doing that weird thing.
I'm touched right now. I was a little angry before, but now I'm really touched.
Are you?
So thank you.
No, look at him.
I adore
you
so much.
Is he touched or is he angry?
I'm
Cassie?
staying out of this one.
Cassie?
I'm no longer the Swiss.
I'm touched.
He's touched.
Thank you. I am touched.
He's touched. Yeah.
You still don't believe me?
No, I totally believe you.
I am. Anna, when you give me a compliment like that, how can I not be touched?
Well, it's true though. You are a fucking awesome man.
Oh.
And
Thanks.
you know, anybody would be so lucky to have you in their lives, and I'm so happy that Amy has you.
You're so sweet to say that. Thank
And
you so much.
you're also listen to me. I'm getting like all sentimental.
I'm gonna cut all this out anyway. No one wants to hear this.
Fuck you.
No one wants to hear this.
Dick.
I was like, who gives a fuck about
Yeah,
Sim?
fuck you.
We have Arielle Kebbel here. They want to talk about Sim, seriously?
Oh, you said my name right. Thanks.
I always said it right. I thought, didn't I? Oh, I asked you how to
I
pronounce
don't
it.
know. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, man.
He has a good memory. All right, so
Oh, we have some fun stuff for you.
Oh, great.
No, that's not.
Also, I just want to say thank you for being willing to share the story about the director. I don't know if that was easy or hard for you, but I know that like right now, more than ever, everyone being willing to share is so valuable. And I'm sure Francis listening like was shocked that you were willing to share something like that. I know I'm grateful that you shared that, like, because as you were talking, I was recounting all the number of times that I like giggled and how much I've beat myself up for that since, like, or how many times I trained myself to like, if a guy put his hand on my shoulder, but I knew it, like at an event that I'd be like, oh, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom, you know, like the way that I had trained myself to get out of a situation so it wouldn't get worse. And it's just like you sharing that is exactly, I feel like the bravery that everyone is valuing right now, because it's like
I can't think
what's happening.
So it's so kind that you say that, but I interpret that as me being incredibly weak. And I remember like clocking like crew members looking at me like, "Are you going to do something?" That seemed insulting. And instead I giggled, and I felt like, is this who my parents raised me to be? I can't believe I resorted to that, to like just giggling.
Yeah. That's how I felt. That's how I feel too. That's why I've been crying, like feeling guilty and embarrassed and ashamed. But you did the best that you could do. And now you're sharing. And I think that's what's.
Know.
I know. None of us
know
did.
what to do. I didn't know, like, do I whip around and say,
But let me say something. Let me say something. You were on a big movie set in front of a crew of what? Over 100? Yeah. Right? Okay. So you were in front of it. You're the lead of a movie on a movie set with a big director in front of over 100 people. I don't know how many women or men listening would know what to do in that situation. That's the harassment, is that director knew that you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And he was betting on it, because I guarantee you, if he thought you were going to do something, he wouldn't have, or that anyone was going to do anything, he wouldn't have put himself in the powerful situation in the first place to freaking do it.
Yeah, you're completely right. Yeah.
And so you're not weak. And that's the conversation, is you're not weak for giggling. These men are weak for doing it. It's not a power play. It's a manipulation, and it needs to stop.
Yeah. I tried it because I really, like all of us, tried to forget about it, because it didn't feel like what, it's not that big, like.
No, I know, that's it. No,
yeah.
it's not. I didn't get raped, so I shouldn't talk about it.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. I'm lucky.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But then you end up thinking of it, like hangs on your brain for a while, and you keep thinking like, why am I thinking about that so much? Why am I thinking about that so much? That made me feel like how, like not of value. And that's what like so many people go through. So I'm so glad there's a dialogue happening.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for saying that.
Rainbows.
Okay, wait. Now, okay, we are going to get to funnier things. Okay, these are deal breakers.
Oh, yes.
So imagine you're single. We don't know your situation, but imagine you're single.
Oh, well, you don't know my situation? I'll tell you guys.
Yeah?
Single.
Oh, yeah, girl.
All those podcast listeners.
Okay, maybe we can finally get some male listeners now.
Fuck yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, so deal breakers.
Okay.
After 3 dates, he presents you with a highly detailed portrait he painted of you. It's awful, and it looks nothing like you.
Am I supposed to, like, what do I do? Is that the question?
No, it's just like, would that be
A deal breaker?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you something. Some guy on a first date showed up with like a Lego rose in a real vase. See, her eyes say it all. Both your eyes. See, I've got a male and a female who's like, oh boy.
But I kind of love this, sort of. No.
Well, you can date him. I'm sure he'll bring you an orchid and a Lego.
What was his occupation?
I don't know. I didn't really. I mean, I've tried to.
I'm just curious if he was a stand-up comedian. Maybe he was trying to be funny.
That's so sweet. You're giving the benefit of the doubt. No and no. Okay. He was a very passionate Latin man, and I think that was his way of showing affection.
Ooh.
What does ooh mean?
Yeah.
Ooh means like an affectation. Like it's too much of a presentation, I guess.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
Like if it were just like I'm like a introvert and I happen to love Legos and I made this weird rose for you.
If he was the good doctor and he made me a rose, I would be in love.
Instead, it's like, this is how I'm going to impress. Like do you know what I mean? Like the overtness of I'm making this presentation.
Okay, I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so years ago, I went on a first date with someone I met on. This is before the apps. This was on not OK Cupid. It was OK Cupid. It's another site. It's like Match.com.
Oh, that's like way back.
This is like 2000, before the app started coming out. Okay. So it's like 2011-ish. And I remember meeting this woman online who, in her profile said she was gluten-free. So Wait,
it was OK Cupid and gluten was a thing already?
Well, gluten-free was like starting to be a thing around then. So I got her, I found like a bakery that had these gluten-free brownie bites. So I thought I'd bring that on a first date. I wasn't sure if it was like too much, if it was overboard. I'd never really bring anything on a first date, but I just thought, oh, she's gluten-free, maybe she'll enjoy these. And I brought that to her, and it blew her away. And it really... Do you guys get creeped out if someone give you a little gift on a first date?
It
depends on the gift. It depends on the gift.
It's all about the person.
Yeah.
Not about the gift.
So
it's about the person.
I thought it might have been overboard, thinking I'm stalking her, like her stalking her thing.
But no, you're right. I think it's about like how many. It depends on how many times you've talked on the phone before, like what the relationship.
Just through text.
Through text.
And I saw that she's gluten free, and then she thought it was really considerate, but I also thought maybe it's a little too much for a first date.
No.
It worked. It worked in that situation.
Well, I would say if I hadn't spent time talking to you, and you showed up for the first time with a gift, I would be a little creeped out.
Yeah.
But if I'd spent time like putting the time and effort in and you were paying attention and getting to know me and you showed up with a gift, I'd feel a little more like, oh, that was a sweet gesture.
Cassie, creepy or not creepy?
No, I agree with what you're saying. I think it depends on the context of the relationship. Like if you had been texting and talking. And
for a while.
And it came up in conversation.
Never on the phone.
She's cold. Will you turn off the air? It's her house.
No, it's his house.
It's your house. It's his. Whoops. Never mind.
She's a movie star. You think she lives here?
Oh my God. This is a nice house.
I just noticed she's so cold.
Oh my God.
Like still you're shivering.
I'll turn off.
It's a beautiful home.
I'll turn off the air conditioning in my non-movie star home. Excuse me.
You're a movie star.
Which I spent a fucking lot of money on. This is Los Angeles, by the way. Larchmont Village, Cassie.
You didn't drive up a driveway.
Sorry, I don't live in honest mega mansion.
Oh, wait, you guys, let's talk shit about Sim.
You thought she lived here?
Wait, oh shit, you came back.
He always does that. I was just looking and I was like, all of a sudden she's literally like doubled over shivering, and you're just going on about dating and gluten-free brownies. And I'm like,
sure.
Okay, so back to this. Anyways, if the rose was a deal breaker, this friggin' painting is a deal breaker. Okay, there, done.
Fine. Okay. He pronounces your name Areola.
That would probably make me laugh. And then I guess it depended on like our chemistry, because it could either
wait, this is not the portrait is a deal breaker, but areola is not.
Well,
I like you.
I mean, listen, if we have like crazy chemistry, that could be like, I don't know.
Dude. What the
not on a first date. Are we talking about a first date?
Well,
or is it just like in conversation?
Conversation.
Yeah. So if it's conversation, we have crazy
like,
chemistry.
Mom, Dad, this is the love of my life. Areola.
Well, in that kind of conversation, I would die.
Okay. He likes balloon porn.
I don't know what that is.
It's girls popping balloons with their butt and feet.
Huh? I mean, deal breaker. I can't even mentally get that. I can't even visually get that. Can you?
No.
I didn't know what that was. When Cassie, that's a real thing, huh?
That's a real, wow.
Cassie, explain.
Well, they sit on it and they pop it with their behind. Uh-huh. And then sometimes they pop it with their gigantic breasts. And sometimes they pop it with their feet.
So, like, what? Is that like the cum shot? Is that like are guys supposed to come when the balloon is popped? I don't get it.
The sound and the...
Everything about that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. It sounds like somebody who's into that has come so many times.
He's looking for new ways to come.
Absolutely. Like,
this is a new way to come.
A new way to come. Like surprise, like a loud popping noise makes you come, I guess.
That would, if I had a penis, that would scare my penis. So I don't know how that would make me come, but okay. That's why men and women are different.
On the first date, he hands you the check for dinner because he's a feminist.
Oh, wow. Deal breaker.
Good. I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys. I'm a real traditionalist when it comes to that. I will never. I mean, here's the thing. If I go on a first, second, third, fourth, I'm always going to pay. But if she insists on buying a drink afterwards, like at a bar, I'll let her do that. But I won't. I'm sorry if that's really. That's one thing I'll never change about myself. I'll always pay.
I love that. I think
really good because there's women that don't love that.
No, listen. There's a difference between feminism and chivalry, and just like common dating.
Thank you for saying that because I wasn't sure. Men don't know anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's very confusing these days. It is. And listen, I don't knock any women who would want to pay. I think we work really hard for our money. I enjoy paying for a lot of things on my own. But I think if it's a first date, there's something that's still like I still fantasize about the romanticness of that, if that's even a word. I don't know. And like the chivalry. And, I think anyone dating me would know that I make my own money and I have my own career. So I think the feminist part of the conversation is already spoken for. And the rest of it is just like a nice gesture. Why are you looking like that?
Because I've been thinking a lot about this idea a lot, about the idea of, I guess, sort of the idea of ownership a little bit. Like, yes, I love it that people have manners or they want to pay for dinner. But there is also the other side of it. It's like, oh, does this mean though that
I owe you something?
Well, or just that, like, the larger concept of being like, for instance, I wanted to ask Jack, my son, the other day, because I had heard that he had a girlfriend. And I wanted to ask him, like, oh, Jack, do you have a girlfriend? But then I started to think about it, and I was like, the idea of, am I instilling the idea of like ownership? It's different if I had a daughter, and I would say to the daughter, like, do you have a boyfriend or whatever? That's so different of a concept than the idea of Jack having a girlfriend. Does that make sense?
Because what does he have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I know, I'm sort of linking.
I struggle with that in a relationship, but the reason I answered the way I did was because you said a first date. And I think that's the difference.
Oh, completely.
It's like one is...
Oh, and I wouldn't...
Okay, but then what I said before was that I always pay. I always want to pay. Does that mean I'm owed something?
No.
Okay, good, because I never expect. Because when you said that, I thought that's what
I would be so.
A lot of women are thinking.
Here's
right?
the hypocrite in me that I would be turned off by somebody who wouldn't.
Right.
Right. So that's
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah. So I feel like for men it has to be a complicated.
It's very complicated.
Yes.
I never want to feel like someone owes me something because I've been buying nice dinners for them.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm doing that because I want to do it.
Right, but also, God, where are the rules?
I know,
we
it's
haven't
tough. It's
clarified
Yeah.
them.
I think it's an
'Cause
ongoing
nobody knows
conversation.
them.
I think for sure on a first date, I still believe in like respect and chivalry. And I think once you hit relationship status, like on your Facebook page, then the conversation changes.
Super high.
Yeah, then you like have to talk about like what you share and like what you do and what she does and what
Oh
she
my
does.
God, when are you guys getting married?
Wait, when are you having
He's
kids?
so fucking hot.
When is he putting a ring on it? It's been 5 months. Is this Hollywood? Like, have you frozen your eggs yet? Come on.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
But no, seriously, for you. Like, am I your bridesmaid or not?
it's complicated.
I want to be your maid of honor. You told me earlier that, like, 3 years ago, that at the table read that I could be.
Yeah.
So, I promise
that.
I promise my tits will not outshine yours.
Based on
Promise.
what you said earlier, I think they will.
What do you mean, Dr. Teitelbaum?
Yeah.
He's going to be in it.
I think he shines bright in the whole equation. Shines bright like a diamond, you know?
like a constellation.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay. He thinks Halloween is the devil's holiday, and he doesn't celebrate it.
Oh, that's such a frustrating one. Because on the one hand, I think that's so cool. And on the other, I'd be pissed because I love Halloween.
Wait, what do you love about Halloween?
Everything, the candy, the costumes.
Like what, candy corn?
You love candy corn. You brought it up. Okay. When I was a kid, I actually used to love Easter and Halloween the most because like I love candy and eggs. Forget about the religious part of it.
Okay, I like this though. This is good. Candy, eggs. That's simple. I like this.
For most people's digestive system, it doesn't go well together. But for me, I was fine. But as far as the fact that he did the whole like devil's thing, I think I'd be intrigued. I don't think it'd be a deal breaker. I think I'd be intrigued to like have a conversation more about it. I think I'd be like, tell me more. Can I fix you? Can you fix me? What's happening here?
He'd be like, Arielle, I gotta tell you something.
You have candy corn for me?
Babe, come on, don't mock me. Come on, babe. Of course I have candy corn for you. All Hallows Eve, not my fucking jam, man.
But what about Day of the Dead?
No, don't you fucking mock me. I mean, I don't mean to be aggressive, you know. I love you. You know this about me. I don't like Halloween. It's always something that, like, you know, it's my sort of trigger holiday. We called it Trolliday.
What if I dress up as your favorite? Don't you have a favorite character?
My favorite character?
Yeah.
Has to be Annie from Annie.
On All Hallows Eve,
It's a Hard Knock Life.
Annie.
From Annie.
For Trolliday. If you just give it a trance.
I just need you to sit in this windowsill.
What do you say?
And sing tomorrow. That way, All Hallows Eve will be over.
The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar. That tomorrow.
Babe, is that how you're going to do it? Babe, whoa, babe. I know you're paying the rent, but I got to tell you, it's not great, babe.
I don't feel like this relationship built on candy corn is going anywhere.
Oh, babe, come on. Fuck. You know I love you. Your fucking tits are so hot.
I didn't have Dr. Bajadio. What's his name?
Dr. Teitelbaum happens to be my uncle.
So when I'm Annie this year for Halloween, don't ask questions.
Are we done with the questions? Are we gonna do a break and then we'll do a
let's
call?
do a little break.
Yeah, we have one call left. Is that it? Or we have a how would you proceed, right? Or is that it?
No, we don't.
We don't. Okay, let's do a break then, and then one last call, and then we can end this.
Thank God.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by State Farm. And in honor of their surprisingly great auto insurance rates, I'm going to tell you about a particularly surprising day on set. It takes me a long time to read a script. For almost every line of dialogue, I will stop to figure out why my character would say it, how it fits in the conversation, and how it's going to come out of my mouth. Between the lines, there are larger chunks of text which describe everything else happening in the scene. Maybe what a room looks like, what characters are wearing, and what they're doing. As I often underestimate how long everything in my life takes, I know I can make up some time by reading those larger chunks a little faster. I got the script for Overboard about 6 months before we started production. I read it in my warm living room, wearing comfortably warm clothes, sipping from a warm mug of tea. Somehow, it never occurred to me that when you jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean, the water is surprisingly cold. And it doesn't get any warmer on take 2. Here at Unqualified, we love State Farm because they provide coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by ZocDoc. Who gets excited about trying a new restaurant that has 2 out of 5 stars? When it comes to finding healthcare, don't ratings matter even more? ZocDoc is a free app where you can compare doctors, read reviews from real patients, and even make same-day appointments. When I finally called to reschedule my dentist appointment, I was told that my dentist had been retired for nearly 3 years. In my defense, parking was a nightmare. Through ZocDoc, I found a new dentist who had great reviews, took my insurance, and whose office was actually within walking distance. I was also able to book an appointment instantly without talking to a receptionist who made me feel guilty about not having my teeth cleaned for 3 years. My new dentist didn't make me feel guilty either, and only suggested I floss a little more often. Whether you need a primary care physician, dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialist, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/unqualified and download the ZocDoc app. Sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor who might be available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/unqualified.
Hey guys, we're back.
Hi.
We were talking about something outside, and again, I'm learning so much from you two, which is why I feel like this is a really powerful podcast. The three of us are having a conversation outside, and Cassie, maybe you want to grab a mic for this.
Well, the 3 women and the men.
Do you have a mic? Do you have a mic here? No. All right, just come over here and share with me then. But Cassie, you mentioned something. Dear listeners, this is Cassie, our head writer. So you mentioned something outside based on the conversation we had before the break. Arielle and Anna seem to respond to. So talk about that.
Well, when we were talking earlier to Francis and, you know, you guys were talking about #MeToo, which I think is a really important and powerful thing, but it didn't impact me in an emotional way, but though I supported everyone who was doing it. But as you guys were talking about it and we discussed the giggle, and suddenly it had like a really emotional impact on me because I was like, oh, no, but that's just become like a really normal part of my life. When someone's like weird or inappropriate, it's like, well, I don't want to make you feel weird, so I'll just giggle. Like, I'll just laugh.
Yeah.
I feel really weird, but like, I don't want to go out of my way to make you feel weird.
Right. Somehow it's your responsibility.
Yes,
How we've
So I'll
been
just diffuse
conditioned.
it and I'll laugh. And it's like, oh God, this is weird. Like, I hope I get out of this situation. But like, but it was like, that was
otherwise-
so powerful to me when you guys were talking about that.
But don't you think that if first of all, we're conditioned, I think, to giggle, but also if we were to do anything else, we'll be labeled a bitch or, or like difficult. That would be like the best of circumstances. Yeah. And so it's like, well, okay, I guess what I do is I laugh and it puts everyone at ease when, I feel incredibly uncomfortable. And so I guess that's the defense mode that you go into a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because I've been having a lot of conversations about the Me Too hashtag and about my girlfriends who get it and some that don't. I mean, not that everyone gets it.
Right, it's important.
But exactly what you said.
But not to have like the same emotional response where like...
Exactly. And to me, it was about like it's about the fact that like, hey, everybody wake up. Almost every woman you know has been sexually harassed. That's just a fact. Like, that's like you need food to survive. It's that much of a fact. What level, that's a conversation. But the fact is the fact. And so I think some people are, they're struggling with the Me Too because it feels like it's gone too far or emotional or this or that. But I think like what you said about the giggle is these are all, it's all ways of relaying information, saying, guys, this is the situation that you have chosen to put us in. And up until now, we have chosen to find our way out instead of calling you on your poor choice in the first place.
It's like my giggle is not a laugh.
Yeah, the giggle is like, I'm uncomfortable.
My giggle is a shield.
Yeah. And it's like, my giggle is the fact that for some reason I'm trained to take care of both of us.
Yeah.
For some reason I'm trained to to take care of myself and protect myself and also protect you.
Right. Like, I don't want to make you feel bad.
Yeah. Or also like maybe I'm misreading it. It's meant to put all these questions in our head. And so it's like, well, this way I don't need to call you on your shit. I don't need to question it. I don't need to go down that dirty path. I can just like giggle and get out and call my girlfriends later and get the support I need and hope it never happens again. That's what a giggle does, And I mean, we were talking like the amount of times, like I was just saying, I was getting a root canal last week and it was wildly inappropriate the way the doctor offered to check on me and take care of me and literally took my cell phone to put his number in to say because he wanted to check on me. The best tool I had was to giggle and reroute him and ask about the medicine so that I could get out of his chair and get out of the dentist office. And that's last week after all the Weinstein stuff had already broke. And I was on meds, highly medicated in his dentist chair after having a root canal. I mean, that is the type of manipulation we're talking about. And that's the type of giggle we're sharing that saves us in any given situation at any time. And I can't believe
it's like such a temporary save, though. Like ultimately, if I'm ashamed that I giggled, I didn't know what else to do, but I'm ashamed. But it takes a number of us, an army of people, to be like, no, that's fuck. What the fuck?
If you
Don't
giggle,
do that.
the guy is going to think it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, Anna, like you giggled at a time when, like, I'm sure if that happened right now, my hope is that there would be a different response. Even the fact that even if the director was too afraid to do it in the first place at this point, I think what we're going to see for a while right now is fear. I think a lot of men are going to be terrified, which is fine. The pendulum will swing. But the fact that this happened to you a few years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but in a time where I believe you giggled because that was the best thing. That was the best tool you had to get out of the situation for everyone's sake. Like, you didn't have enough faith that anyone was going to speak up. Otherwise, you would have. And I'm sure everyone wanted their job. I'm sure the crew members stood by your side and said it was fucked up, but they didn't say it was fucked up to the director. And that's the issue in and of itself, is that we have to stop talking about what's happening to you and we have to start talking to the director about it. It's like what's his name? Jackson Katz had that great quote about stop talking about the number of women who are sexually harassed and start talking about the number of men who are sexually harassing them. Even in the way we talk about this issue lies the problem, because we're still focusing on the women. So of course we look like the problem. We're the ones being targeted. But if you switch the attention onto the man, onto the director, onto the crew that could have stood up to the director and left you out of it, there's the solution.
Oh, you're 100% right. And this town is filled, we're
the point of that was that I honor your feeling ashamed, because I felt my own shame in the past couple of weeks, even with the dentist story I just shared with you, because it's like, oh my God, that happened last week. But I
But
share
that's
that.
fucked up.
It's really fucked up. I've been telling everyone. I'm like, what? Like the worst timing, dude. Like, why would you do that now? Like maybe 3 weeks ago, but really the last 2 weeks? Come on. But anyways, and it's like the most vulnerable. Like my mouth is open to this man and he's choosing to do all these inappropriate things. Are you kidding me? But anyways, like don't like the shame that you feel. I feel like that's what we're all feeling. But I feel like this conversation is to say like, let go of that shame because it wasn't all on you. And that's the like problem that we all are facing and feeling is we've all taken it on as our own problem and it's not.
Wait, can I ask you both a question? Let's just say you're on a movie set next week and the director's
Thanks. I need a job.
We got hired.
both of
Yeah,
you, you're on a movie
we
or
got a
TV set next
job.
week.
We're
Guys,
sisters?
great job.
Wait, we're lesbians.
Okay,
Wait,
I'm giving you a situation here. I'm giving you a hypothetical. I'm giving you guys you guys are sisters in the movie? Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or no. I know what it is. The Halloween couple got hired. It's Annie live television Halloween special.
Oh my God.
okay, so it's a very,
It's a hard knock life for us. Oh, you have the better voice.
No, you're the man. I'm the woman. Remember?
So
No?
next
Okay.
week, if the director slapped you both on the ass in front of the crew next week, what do you both say?
I don't think that would happen to me now because
Let's say it does. Let's say something similar, like an inappropriate. You felt like you were harassed in front of the crew or whatever, even if you were alone. If it happened to you next week, where in the past we may have giggled it off, but now it happens next week. What do you do? Do you tell someone? Do you tell the director? You're 3 days. You're 3 days into your shoot.
I know what I would do now.
What would you do now?
I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck was that? Did you all just see that? That was
So
fucking crazy.
You would call him out.
Yes.
Good.
But I say that now as like having like, more work under like, I have the luxury of saying that at age 40.
We were talking about that earlier when we were talking about all of this and then you said something that like my heart resonated with, but you were like, but sometimes I just want a freaking job. And
Yes.
it's like,
Yeah.
that's very real for any industry. Like, why are we even having to talk about sexual harassment and work in the same conversation? Like, we just want to work.
I remember that same director telling my agent who told me that that I had like great legs, and that was one of the reasons that I got hired. And listen, that's a fucking great compliment. I like my legs, but I'd like to keep them for a while. but that sort of like informed my whole experience with that project. And so it wasn't like, I don't think the male lead got hired because he had great legs.
Have you noticed guys don't have great legs? They have chicken legs. So small. They work on their arms all the time. Guys, work on your legs. I'm an ass lady. Come on.
Fuck yeah, let's bring it back.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Let's get them hired for their legs. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted a really crucial moment.
No. But you illustrate an important point that is, it's like that wouldn't have ever been said to a male lead. Anyway, but so therefore I felt like, okay, I'm hired because of these elements, not because of
Talent you have.
well, you said it. Say it again, won't you?
How funny you are, how witty
Go on.
you are.
What do you
how
mean? Go on.
smart you are.
Oh, go on. But
So did you feel like then you fell in your own trap of like, I should make sure my
completely.
legs look hot on camera because
fuck
that's
yes.
why I got the job?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's like horrific. Yeah, I understand. Can I tell you, there was a movie I did where I had 2 wardrobe people bending me over. This was before those push-up bras that like stick to your breasts now. Yeah,
The
men
new
and women
bra
listening. Yeah, there's a new bra. Yeah, the new bra, guys. There's
I
there's
know
a
the
thing
new
called
bra.
the new bra. We all know the new bra. Anyone who's gone to an award show knows the new bra.
Wait, I don't know what the new bra is.
It's a
Suddenly
strapless that
sim-
sticks to your breasts, but it's like backless.
Okay.
So it allows you to do more with less.
I don't know what it is. Why would I know, Anna? You're looking at me like I would know what it is.
I had 2 wardrobe people in my trailer bending me over, actually duct taping my breasts together because this was before the new bra was invented, and I needed to have like great cleavage for this one role, and that was the only way to get it because like the push-up bras weren't like doing what they wanted, so they actually like they bent me over and then like duct taped my breasts together and then put the bra on and then put the shirt on. It's a multi-layered process, but I mean I don't bring that up to say that's sexual harassment in the same way that we've been talking about it. It's more about going back to the legs and why we're hired and wanting a job. And like, I was really young then. That was one of my first movies. And, was it comfortable? No, but I was so excited to have moved to LA from Florida at 17 and be in a film that I was like, yeah, whatever it takes, as long as I'm not having sex with someone, I'm good. That was my mindset. As long as I'm not screwing my way to the top, I'm good. And it was like, so I feel you with the leg comment, because you're like, well, if this is what it takes, like, sure, and it's really hard as a woman now to say that, because I feel like I am so much stronger and brighter, and to look back at myself and go like, oh my God, look at what I put myself through, and I hope everyone listening, like, if you're young and sprightly, like I was once, you don't have to do that.
You atrocious creature. Get out of my face.
Should we get to the call? Let's get to the call.
Yeah.
All right. Cassie, will you dial it for us?
Thank you.
We're going to call Caitlin. Caitlin's in Detroit and she's 25.
Hello.
Hey, Caitlin, it's Sim. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm going to introduce you to Anna right now. Anna, say hi to Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi. How are you?
Our special guest is Arielle Kebbel.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi.
What do you think?
I have a question.
Oh, yeah, I have this
I have
for
a
you
question
here.
for Arielle.
Okay.
Here.
Were you in the movie Aquamarine?
I was.
Okay, I was gonna be like such a douche if you weren't, but I was obsessed with that movie when I was like younger.
Wait,
And
I know the guy, the director.
You do?
Joe Nussbaum directed it?
No, actually, a woman directed it. So herein lies the problem.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought I knew the director of Aquamarine.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
Liz Allen directed it.
Okay.
But it was wonderful. We filmed in Australia. It was one of my first movies, actually. It was not the movie I was talking about earlier, but it was one of my first movies. I loved it.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that it was you, and then I was like, oh, I think I can place her there, and I have to ask because I was obsessed with that movie when I was younger.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't
Wait, what?
very nice in it.
I love the what? Why were you obsessed with it? Because I love like.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of, to be honest, the guy in the movie, I don't know the actor's name, but
Jake McDormand.
And
was he Raymond?
The Craigslist killer. Yeah, he that was what I was obsessed with him. He was like my first wet dream.
Ooh, yeah.
Do women
girl.
get wet dreams? I don't understand that.
No, I was just using an expression.
Oh,
I guess.
okay.
But I was.
I didn't know. I don't know how women's bodies work.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
You've had a wet dream in your
Yeah.
life? Well, how does that? Tell me. Explain the process. Not a graphic way, but how does that work?
Well, yeah. All right. So, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
In my dorm. It's 1996.
Okay.
I'm in Haggett dorm, right? I have like the narrow
Is that
bed.
where you guys know each other from?
Oh, and I wake up in the middle of the night. Turns out, like, I'm a little bit wet between my legs, Sim. Okay?
I didn't know. I had. Okay,
you.
great. That's all. I listen. You didn't have to explain it to me.
You asked me to.
But you could have said, Sim, I'm not going to get into it. I really didn't need that much detail, to be honest.
It was the right details. I'm glad that she could explain it and I didn't have to.
Thank
so,
you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you both for explaining what a female wet dream is to me. All right, so tell us what's going on with your best friend. You had a best friend for 18 years, right? And something's happening. What's happening?
Yes. Yep. We've been best friends since 3rd grade. And she went on a work trip about a year and a half ago, and she'd just gotten out of a long-term relationship. So she was kind of on the prowl, as she should be. I mean, got to get out of the funk. And so she called me on the work trip. She met a guy she was really into, and I was, really happy for her. And when she got home, she started to tell me more about this guy, and then she tells me that he's married. And I, I was like, are you sure that that's a good idea? And she said, well, it's just a one-time thing, and it's not going to happen again. And I'm like, okay, that's probably a good idea because, it's not going to end well. And then she goes on another work trip, same company, same people, and it happens again.
With a different guy, right? A different dude this time.
No, this is the same guy
same guy.
still. After she said it was going to end, and so that goes on for months and months. Long story short, she knows I'm not okay with it. I've been cheated on. There was infidelity in my parents' marriage. She knows I'm not very supportive of that. Eventually it ends badly. He chooses to try and work things. My friend is devastated. She's like, I made a big mistake, blah, blah, blah. And then a few months later, she meets another guy who's married and a relationship with him. So and ever since all this has been happening, I feel kind of a strain on our relationship because I'm not really sure if I can be friends with someone who doesn't feel any remorse or guilt or can't see what she's doing is wrong. And I'm just kind of wondering what you would do if, your best friend, and I can't really talk to anyone else about it because I don't want to slander her name or, I don't want people talking about it and finding out. So I'm not really sure what to do.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Are you in a relationship at all?
No, I'm not.
Are you in love? Like, do you crush on somebody?
Oh, I love the way you talk.
I have a crush on a lot of people. I don't know. I can't really. I've always kind of been in long-term relationships, and this is the first time I haven't been in one. So I'm pretty happy, just dating casually right now. So I'm not sure. I don't think it has anything to do with me being hurt as much as I just can't really support these decisions, and it's really eating me up inside. I just feel so bad, and I don't want her to get hurt, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. So I just don't really know what to do.
Do you miss her a lot?
My friend?
Yeah.
I see
her friendship. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she is a little bit consumed by these relationships and keeping up with this stuff. And yeah, I do miss her. She's not the same, for sure.
Do you think that she's being hurt by these relationships?
I thought the first time around maybe she was hurt enough that it wouldn't happen again. But I'm not really sure. She's pretty hard to read. She's pretty self-involved. I don't mean that in a bitchy way, but I don't know if she can tell if she's hurt, but she's going to be because I don't see this one ending very well either.
Oh,
how can it?
No, probably not great. But here's the thing, and I say this at being 40. Ugh, God, I'm at the risk of sounding like my mom.
No, my mom would not know. She would be like, "What is going on?" She doesn't understand anything. So.
I love your mom voice.
but
what is this Tinder?
Well, but truly, here, I think that she's gonna have her journey, and you're gonna have yours, and her mistakes, they're gonna be hers. And I think what you can do is be a caring friend like you are, because you called our podcast, which is so fucking awesome. But yeah, I think that, I don't know, my very unqualified opinion.
Do you feel like if you make a mistake once, it's like a mistake and you could admit that, maybe it wasn't the best, but then if you make the same mistake again, I just feel like it's kind of you know what you're doing.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, of course. But here's the other thing, is that you can't be the person that tells somebody that. They have to learn it themselves,
Right.
You're a good mom.
Mommy.
You are. I'm like, your son is very lucky to have you. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say you're such a wonderful friend for caring this much. But at a certain point, it becomes her journey and not yours. And the best thing you can do is share exactly, in my opinion, is share exactly how you feel so that you know that your best friend has heard it. And then you have to decide if you're willing to be there to support her on the other side. This may make or break you guys. You may be able to be the one that holds her on the other side when she realizes what she needs to realize, or you may not be able to do it. And that's okay too. Friendships go through a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes they don't make it and sometimes they do, but it's okay.
And Caitlin, I think the other thing to take into consideration as well is sort of what you want from your friendship with her, and if you're missing her, because that's what it sort of sounds like as well, because
yeah, definitely. I mean, I just want her to make the right decisions so she's happy in life, and I mean, when she's not happy, I'm not happy.
But imagine, let's say she convinces a dude to leave his wife, and they get married, your friend and this married guy, and you're like the maid of honor. And in 10 years from now, and she's still lonely and confused. Like these, I guess what I'm trying to say is that these are the problems of life, and these are problems that we can't solve for our friends. I wouldn't want anyone that I loved to be heartbroken by having relationships with somebody else who's involved with somebody else.
I know this is going to sound really harsh. I'm sorry, but my question would be what is your friend in therapy, and why does she feel like she can find a relationship in an unavailable man versus finding a single,
Great question.
healthy man?
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
Here's the thing I said to her at the very beginning. I said, listen, at the time, you're 23 years old, you're gorgeous, just go outside. You can meet any single guy our age who's not tied down that'll treat you amazingly. And I don't know. I've asked her, what do you see in this situation? What do you see in this man? And it's just, I have such a connection with him. I can't resist it. But I just don't really know if I buy it if it's happened.
But here's the thing, Caitlin, is that I think that you will, if you explore too much of her issues, it's going to just drive a wedge in between you guys.
Yeah.
And so I think that you have to just simply, I don't know, be supportive. If she asked you for advice, I think you say, you know what, maybe it's not the best idea to sleep with married people, but I love you. I want to have your back. And because that's all you can do, because you won't be able to change her mind in any way,
Right.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. And asking yourself what you're okay with. I think that's such beautiful advice she just gave you, because I'm like, oh, I could have that compassion. I'm learning from it, because I was actually, as you were talking, I was comparing it to a situation I had in middle school. I know that you're older, but with one of my guy best friends, we did everything together. We skateboarded together. We walked our dogs together. We went to get 7-Eleven Slurpees together. We did everything together. And he started selling drugs. And he was one of the smartest guys I know. And I was like heartbroken. And for so long I tried. I was like, why are you doing this? Let me help you. Let me find other ways. I can get you another job. Like if you need money, you know, I was constantly trying to be the solution for my friend. And I finally realized he just wanted to do it. And I personally wasn't okay with it because it was such a heavy drug at such a young age. It scared me. And that's what I had to say to him. And I cried for weeks after because there was really a hole in my heart. I felt like I lost a family member. But I knew that what I believed in at that point was what I had to go with, because if I tried to say I was okay with it and be his friend anyways, I was just going to end up in fights with him, even if I tried to ignore it and think I was okay. So I think that also the other question to ask yourself is like, what are you okay with? Because if you're okay with her dating these married people, then truly be okay with it and like support her through it, like you're saying. But if you're not okay with it, then the problem isn't with her, it's about you, and then you have to respect yourself.
You know what, we've all mourned, haven't we all like mourned the loss of a best friend? I mean, yeah, exactly to what you're saying. Like it sucks, but that's sort of our journey through life is.
I just don't want her to get hurt. That's really the ultimate. And I feel like a bad friend for even, not being supportive of it. But
No. Of course, you can't be supportive of like, oh yes, hooray, good for you for having. Like,
yeah,
but
I think that's what she's looking for in me as her best friend. But I feel like I hope that she one day, if it doesn't work out, I hope that she can look back and realize I was just trying to be a good friend by not supporting her.
Of course.
I don't know.
You know
if
what,
that
she
makes
will.
sense.
Yes, it sounds like you guys are kind of going through a friendship breakup a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It feels like that. I'm feeling emo now.
And there's there's nothing you can do really at this point you can't like capture her right now. She just has to do her thing and you have to do yours, and you just sort of hopefully will like reconnect in a year. And because truly, like, there's nothing you can say. You can't pass judgment because she's already
just kind of have to let things.
Yeah, she's already putting that on herself. Like, there's already going to be enough. She's already going to go through enough shit.
So, is there anything that you can, before we let her go, is there anything you can tell her to do now?
I would just think like I would just maybe say to her, "Hey, I love you so much. I'm here whenever. Reach out if you feel like it. And yeah, just reiterate love. Right. That's all.
That's
and
good.
then just like kind of leave it alone. I would.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Caitlin, are you okay with that?
Oh God, but Caitlin, I know it's heartbreaking though.
Advice from both of you.
I know that losing a friend, or at least like having a friend grow distant, it sucks.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry.
It does. And thank you for sharing with us. And like any breakup is hard. Like, focus on you. I know it sounds cliche, but focus on you, because that's where the energy is productive. If you keep worrying about her, it's just like the spinning cycle,
Definitely.
Caitlin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Caitlin,
You guys.
thank
I really
you. I love
appreciate it.
you. Thank you.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much.
Bye, Caitlin.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one. Bye.
Oh, I haven't done this wrap it up finger in a long time. I'm doing
sure haven't.
It's been like 5 weeks since I've done it. There, I'm doing it for. She's been. Oh my God, seriously, one of my favorite guests of all time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not just saying that.
Thank
I don't
you.
say
I
that.
was so lost. I was so lost in your finger wrapping right now. I actually forgot we were on the podcast.
Thank you for saying that.
Wait,
I was like,
The finger wrap has been a point of contention.
I was really distracted. Oh, Caitlin.
Seriously,
I hope Caitlin
thank
figures
you.
I hope she works it all out.
You've been amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Truly, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me both. Thank you for the giggles. Thank you for the Halloween fantasy,
Let's relive it all again.
I know that you have 50 Shades number 3. What's it called?
Number 3, 50 Shades Freed.
That's coming out in February. I know your publicist told me that to promote that, but here's what I'm thinking. But it's February so far away. Can you come back to promote it? Will
my God, I would love that.
If Anna's okay with it.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. First of all, it's been so awesome having you here on the podcast.
Thanks.
Yeah, I guess it's cool if maybe you returned.
Hey, I don't, not to like put you on the spot, but can I come back?
I guess, you know what? I don't know. We'll have to see if like this, I don't know. We'll have to check the schedule.
What's his name? Eric? What's the guy? If they cut this out, I'll know who to blame. If I never come back, I know who to blame.
Okay. Hey, but wait, listen, I do want to tell you a couple of things.
Okay, cool. Wait, should I get my trio out?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you do come back, if there's any way you could like potentially like dress a little sexier, or so we can maybe take the photo, like, because we are trying to sell like this podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because you want more male viewers, right?
Yeah.
Did you want me to show my legs?
Well, or your tits, whatever you feel like, you know, or both, you know.
Or both. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, like, would I get more followers?
That would be super helpful.
Like if I showed...
If you actually got a lot more followers, that would be really, really helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I like the way you hold your mic close to your mouth.
All right, let's end this thing right now.
Oh, I'm such a
Good night, dear listeners.
I love you so much.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. This is amazing. I'm honored to be on this. Like, this was a really meaningful podcast. So thanks for having me.